Hello, everyone. It's really great to be here. I know some people might be asking why I wouldn't be taking off for the Caribbean for a seventh year, and I'll tell you why. Folks like you, people keeping it local, up in my community of Grand Rapids, there's so much more going on there, and I tell you, the food is so much better too. When you've lived on an island where everything gets flown in, and you're paying, $8 for a head of moldy cauliflower, man, I'll take the old beets from my root cellar any day. But that's neither here nor there. What Cecilia and I are going to be talking about is something that's been in the works for the MFMA since before either of us ever were hired or joined. And that is the revision of our 2006 market manual here and the creation of an online certification course. And so unfortunately, I was tasked to create an online course, and I'm kind of a technophobe. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is my phone. It's a flip phone. So, but I've also looked at that challenge as an advantage as well, because when I've taken online courses, sometimes I just want to raise my hand. I've got a question. It's going to take 30 seconds. No, it might take a day for my instructor to get back to me. And so I've really tried to build into this course, and I'll have Ward put this under the projector a little bit later after Cecilia's presentation on the manual. But I've really tried to build in self-explanatory sort of things. Don't be frustrated, go back. And I've really tried to build it as a sort of community. Because, what difference would it make if I'm just putting the market manual online in a format that you click and click, okay, lesson done, here's your certificate. And so one of the really kind of exciting parts about this is it sort of makes a mini market conference for every single chapter. Every single issue is going to have a forum where folks talk about their experience, their success, their challenges, whether it's with promotion, whether it's with sampling, whether it's with insurance, how you decided on your vendor fees, how you decided where you put your market. And you're also required to talk to your fellow students. And so, it's a little weird to be calling all you knowledgeable farmers students, and it's certainly weird to consider myself a teacher. So I'm using the word facilitator, but that's like using the word utilize instead of use. It still means the same thing. But a lot of folks I know are going to be asking themselves, well, why would I need to take a course? I'm already at the farmer's market. I'm already selling. Well, farmers markets are not what they used to be. Not even what they were back in 2006. We're talking about charitable structures of 501c3, C4, C5, C6. Now we've got the LLC3, which we don't even have yet in the state of Minnesota for the most part. And it's going to be coming on for a lot of farmers markets. These things are only going to get more and more complicated. And so this is a way to try and simplify and connect folks with their peers across the state of Minnesota. We may have something very different down in Albert Lea that we might in Baudette, but a lot of the concepts, whether big or small, are going to carry through, and there's a lot that we can learn. So I'm sure I glossed over a lot of things, and hopefully I'll remember those, but I would like for Cecilia to go ahead and talk about how she has gone with taken the market manual and updated it 8 years later.
Thank you. All right, that's me. There we go. So, I was given the task, we're back in May, to edit the 2006 manual, and I guess the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it needed major revisions. So, I've been working furiously on it for the last few months, and I just want to kind of go through the things that are new in the manual, and obviously the first one is up-to-date information. This is information that's pertinent to 2013. So one of the chapters deals with food licensing and the code regulations and all that kind of stuff. That is up to date. That's information that you can use right now. So. Then we've done, really it's in-depth. easy to follow, and it's professionally reviewed. So some of the chapters, like for example, the food chapter was given to MDH and MDA for their review, and they went through every single line and made corrections and additions and all that. So I think what we're hoping that this manual is authoritative in just about every subject matter, every topic having to do with farmers market, so that you can use it confidently to, and you know that you won't be breaking any statutes or rules. Okay, and then we've tried to answer some of the most frequently asked questions. How do I structure my farmers market? What do I do about hiring? Is it an intern? Is it a, let's see, I think I have some of these questions. There you go, what's the best way to structure the market? Is my manager an intern or an independent contractor? Is it a rule or a statute? Do I need to care which one it is? Yeah, you do actually. So, and should I file a 1099, 1023, a 3017A? Does that even make any sense? So all that information is there. And if you are, for example, let's see, the best way to structure a market. Oh, should I do whatever, a nonprofit 501c3? You click on it and then click on the link that tells you exactly what the pros and cons is of that particular structure. Food code, the same thing. Forms that you have to fill out, a budget. You need to have a budget. Click on the link. There's the sample budget. Even something as simple as vendor applications. Click on it. There's a sample there. MOUs. Anybody know what those are? Click on it. There's a sample for that. So we've put together a manual that really is the resource for farmers markets in Minnesota. It is information that's current, it is information that's pertinent to Minnesota, and it is complete. Now, having said that, I think, again, you have a role to play in this. That whenever we put the manual online, we access it online, then it'd be great to get feedback. And through listserv, that would be a great way to give us feedback and to say, hey, you forgot about this, or how about that, or so that we can continue to improve it. And I think it'd be great to be able to edit this on and on.
And one thing that I'd like to point out, Cecilia and I have talked about in the future almost creating a wiki manual where it's not just us getting feedback, but you're offering stuff up for review by the rest of your peers and just really continually building. We don't want to have to, update this, wait another 8 years to update this. And so keeping people involved and having, people actively submitting, look at what I came across, look at this newspaper article, look at this farmer's market manual from Idaho. They're doing something different. It's just building on all of our strengths and knowledge.
Okay, what's new? Sample forms for everything you need to start or keep running your farmer's market. Everything, really. LinkedIn for sure, there's a gazillion links in there, so you won't have to. Like for example, some of the the manuals that I read say, oh, and then you should look at the USDA Agricultural Marketing Services. Well, there's no link. I have to go to another tab, open. It's like, no, this manual is going to be, you're there, you need to go. We'll take you where you need to go. Okay, so what's coming? Online access, yes, am I right about that? Okay. And the certification course, we're going to link those two together. And that's why this was so important to have it be as up-to-date as possible, because we're going to be working together with those, right? Okay, what else is coming? New chapters, and some of the chapters is something that we just thought about recently on minority farmers and minority-run farmers markets. And if anyone has information of that, or they want to share knowledge, please do so. Be at least listserv right now. And translations, should we do it in Spanish, Hmong, or other? So that's pretty exciting. Okay, so what have the lessons been learned? Well, had I known that it took so much work to get a farmers market going, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I just, I found out that I was breaking so many rules. It's not funny. Okay, so but now I know that I can go back. It's not all is lost. Even 2 years into it, I can turn it into more of a professional operation, and I think that that's the forward into the future. We need to start thinking about farmers markets in terms that we are, organizations, and we're professional structures, and we need to act and organize them that way. And that this is from one of our board members, Ward. Create a separate identity. That's what I've learned too. You have to do that. All right. Okay, and this is there's going to be another presentation later on in the afternoon about what's the best way to structure your farmers market or organize it. And I'm kind of leaning in this direction. Keep records of everything and network with other managers and market organizers. It's very important. Fundraise and keep learning all the time. All right, some of my sources have been obviously the MFMA board. There's a lot of expertise and there's a lot of talent on the board, so that's been invaluable to get information here. University of Minnesota Extension, I think we have some, Terry, you're here, you were here. Minnesota Department of Health, as I said, that they've reviewed the chapters so that you'd be confident to be reading something that you know is accurate. Minnesota Department of Ag as well. USD Law School, the chapter on organizing your farmers markets as a nonprofit entity or legal entity has been reviewed by them. Business experts in the field and certified public accountants. I had chats with my accountant for hours trying to figure this out, so you don't have to.
Yeah, it was really fun, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, his first question is, why would you want to do a nonprofit? You're making money, right? So, right? All right, so that's what I have. Any questions?
The manual will be available online, I'm going to say probably by December 1st. And this is something that we're still sort of discussing. Do we want it all or nothing? You buy the manual, you get the whole thing? Or is this something that we would want to make available chapter by chapter in a PDF format? And maybe offer a break for the whole thing. There are some people that really maybe just want the tax organizational structure chapter or the food sampling chapter. So this is something that we're still under discussions about, but I believe that it will be available chapter by chapter. The resources that are contained within each chapter will be on the MFMA website. If you go to the market manual link there on our webpage, there's going to be chapter by chapter the resources that Cecilia and others have found, whether it's a sample 1099 form or the ST19s or what filing you have to do to be a 501c4, how much that might cost. There's also some great other manuals. We definitely looked at the New York Farmers Market Manual, California, Idaho, Kentucky has some great things out there for sampling. Michigan, as we will be very soon to hear, has some fabulous resources out there. So coming up very soon, and December 1st is also going to be the planned rollout of the certification course as well. Now, another advantage I want to point out about having this manual, having this knowledge, perhaps getting certified. When you have this knowledge and you're able to talk to people in your community about markets being professional, it's a lot easier to get support from the community. They see, okay, you're not just a bunch of folks that pull up, sell, and go. And I mean, there is such a beauty in that. I understand that. My vendors that I sell with up in Grand Rapids, a lot of them say, well, we're just a farmer's market, Jesse. Why are we taking SNAP? Why are we promoting? We just want to sell our potatoes. It's just, that's not the reality of a farmer's market anymore, like it or not. And it's also proven that when you have a market manager who actually gets compensated, sales increase. And I'm sure all of us know market managers, or some of us are market managers, that work our tails off for nothing, or next to nothing. And if we have the ability to have the knowledge, the certification, to go out to our community and say, look, we are a resource. We make your community a better place, then it's nothing but a good thing. Now, are there some additional questions about the manual? Yes, dear.
Will there be a hard copy available?
Yes, ma'am.
So that would be purchased, or I mean,
that would be purchased directly through the website, and we can do PayPal or check. It'll be a 3-ring binder, like this, and then it's the same. It would be the same price for the manual if you're getting it online as for this. We just had the printing and the shipping costs. This is something nice to have at your market, but now again, you got a lot of folks with tablets. They have it saved, look it up, or they've got their laptop there that they're running their EBT or their credit card sales through. Yes.
Would you speak a little more to the certification, its intent, its purpose, its value, and its cost?
Yes. The certification program was first, we applied for a grant for it, as I said in the very beginning, before Cecilia and I, or I think even our president, were part of the organization. And it was just seeing that there was a need for all of our market managers to be on the same page, to know what the rules of the road were, what the lessons learned were, how to best use, free promotions, low-cost promotions, how to do fundraising, how to get grants. And so this was a way to do a training. And I think Drew over here, our keynote speaker, they have a bricks and mortar certification program. And understanding that there are limitations online, it'll be really quite interesting to see the advantages of the bricks and mortar program, but also just the advantages of training these market managers and getting that certification. And I think that when you are certified and you have the backing of the board, extension, health, agriculture, and all these other attributes here, you can kind of ask for a little bit more from your community and from your market, because you're going to be doing more for your community, and you're going to be doing more for your market.
But is it the market itself that's certified, or just the manager?
Just the
So
manager.
that every time you change managers, you have to be certified?
You don't have to be certified at all. This is a voluntary sort of thing, but this is something to make your market more effective, and this is something that we foresee members and boards wanting their market manager to take. Yes, sir.
We've been operating for 7 years and we have no market manager. Our vice president and secretary and treasurer work as the managers together as a team, because we cannot find anybody who even wants to take it on.
And it's a real challenge. We're losing our market manager, who, pretty much must have wings sprouting out of his back after 17 years up in Grand Rapids, and we have no idea what we're going to do. And so
we've been working on our own to try, and granted, we have done some things wrong, but we have been pretty successful in our community. This fall, we opened up, the city built us a building for our market.
Congratulations.
And we have nothing invested other than our time and our availability to bring a community together. We were looked at as a portion of the community to rebuild the downtown area. We had been at the school parking lot, we'd been at the
And this is in Crookston, correct?
We moved downtown to where the old high school was and started setting up there. Then we had a fall festival, and we did it in a bank parking lot, and a few of the town council members went, "Oh my God, look at this, this is wonderful. Look at the people here, look at the smiling faces." And from then on, they got on the bandwagon. They spent $100,000 on building us a building to work out of.
Kudos to you. And I think,
And I mean, it's
And
just
to your
been
city council.
Keep on.
Where
And
are
we're
you?
a small market, we're not huge.
Crookston, Minnesota. And I think, what you speak of is the reality of farmers markets in Minnesota. We are all very, very different, but we still have a lot of, rules and regulations that legally we need to follow. And there's a lot of things we can learn about people who've done what you have. How did you, work with your city council? Was it just the luck that they actually saw it?
It was luck. And they saw that we were bringing people into town.
Well, this manual is going to make you real lucky. No, it may not make you lucky, but sometimes you can make your own luck by being aware of opportunities and availabilities.
Well, and we volunteered for many things as a group and an organization. We have put our foot in the door and said, okay, we'll help you. What do you need volunteered for? We serve hot chocolate at our Christmas Wonderland. We, serve hot soup at our fall festival. We donate 2 kettles of soup, and we serve soup for a can donation for the food shelf. We do all these different things just to incorporate that we are an organization that's going to be here, and we will volunteer as people, as bodies, to help get things done.
And the next part of the certification course is a vendor certification course. So it's not quite as intense on all the different legal terms and things like that, but it is going to be something. Kathy, did you have something you needed to? Okay, yes.
So is the certification training to things for market managers available as a cohort, or do you just do it as you need it, or?
It is on your own. So this is, I'm not sure if anyone is
It's
familiar.
available now?
It will be available December 1st. And we will, all the folks that are on our listservs and different things, we'll let you know about that. Send out the grand invite. This is a Moodle-based course. Moodle is a quite interesting open-based software. It is used by universities and master gardeners, elementary schools across the world. This is actually originated in Australia. And so it's something that even an adult like me could set up. And it's also great because there's just a lot of different modules you can put in, different forums to talk to your fellow students, different lessons. It's very linkable. You can open up YouTube pages or different other web pages and things like that. And so we've been very lucky to use some of the resources of the Farmers Market Coalition. They've got some great videos out there. But again, it is an actively changed system. And so as our students are in there, everyone else, or everyone who joins, gets to see all the postings of every single student that's been up there and really learn beyond the quantitative. You really get to learn the qualitative as well. Yes?
How long does it take to go through that course, and what's your cost?
It is an at-your-own pace course, and the cost, to be honest, I'm going to be throwing out a ballpark figure. I want to say it's somewhere in the area of $50. So this is not a really expensive sort of thing, and this is something that you might be able to reach out to the community and say, hey, I really want to do this. I want to improve our farmers market. I want to improve flow through our downtown, or I want to do this or that. By being certified and learning this, I think I'm going to be adding value to you. So.
And if we have a situation where we have a board rather than a manager, would it be helpful, do you think, for more than one person to go through the course?
I do. But at the same time, each individual, I mean, unless you're just doing one module at a time, or one chapter at a time, each individual is going to have different opinions and different things to offer. So it's not really set up for a group of people to take as once, unless you're all in your PJs together at home taking it at the same time. But it is really built for, over the winter, after you put the kids to bed, you've got an hour, you're going to sit down, you're going to look through the lesson, and you're going to talk about your reflections on what you've done with promotion, how you totally screwed up something, how you wasted your big chunk of money by buying this stupid ad that nobody looked at, or how putting out this flyer with a $2 coupon doubled your market sales. So, all right. Is there another question? Yes, Kathy.
I was just thinking about the way Jess has got this bill. For instance, it'll be easy to have any of your vendors go online. If you want to know that your vendors have all read and know the SNAP rules, they could take just that module. They would print out a certificate, and then you could require that. You would like to see that certificate. And we'll actually have a small module, so as new legislation comes online, you will be able to take that mod only if you want to, so you will be trained on all the new legislation, all right?
And so while that's...
It's really your university, I think you actually named it that.
It's MFMA University.
There for you to use and learn from, and just give us feedback.
And I can, and maybe over lunch, what I'll do, I'll have Ward plug his magic cables into my computer, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. It's fairly, simple and linear, but I would love to get some feedback as well. But you know, at this point, it is just set up as an entire course. But Kathy's entirely correct that, you know, say the Bloomington Farmers Market wants everyone to know about the sampling best practices. That's something that we can extract, put it into Bloomington University, you know, and then folks would sign up for that, and we work with you. Any other questions about not only the certification course, but also about the market manual? Yes?
So for these modules,
Mhm.
I assume they would be available at a different price than
Absolutely.
$50?
Absolutely.
Are you going to offer like an a la carte?
Well, if the demand is there, then we would. Like I said, we're rolling out our kind of the first program in December 1st. So if we have a market that wants this, or we have a couple vendors or a couple managers, this is something that we would do a one-on-one kind of conversation about. But it's important to do, and we realize that, and so we're going to do what serves our Minnesota markets most effectively. All right. Well, I guess.
And I guess I could see it as an issue, those people who don't have computers, you know, if we want vendors certified, how are we gonna do that? If they don't have the computers, how can we give them a certificate? Do we have to go through you? I mean, I can see that as an
This
issue
would be
because there's
something-
a lot of them that don't have computers.
You would, and especially for vendors, it's not going to be as long of a program, or take as much time. But this is something where folks would need to go and sit at the library for an hour a week and go through it over the winter or something like that. Or go over to a neighbor's house. The certification itself is set up online only. It's not something that can be done over the phone. And this is something I'm sure that Drew is going to be telling us about, one of the advantages of having bricks and mortar. But if we had a bricks and mortar in Minnesota, I would have to be driving 3.5 hours each way to sit, you know, in these lectures and workshops over a couple different weekends, and that certainly has its own costs and disadvantages as well. At this point, I believe there are 13, but as Cecilia spoke earlier, we do have a couple other ones that are coming up, like minority farmers, and then translations. Now, the Moodle does have a lot of translator plugins, but I don't think that it's automatically going to be able to switch things over very effectively for a lot of the more specific things that we're going to be dealing with as markets. I think we're getting pretty close, and I would imagine you guys are getting fairly hungry. We got 2 minutes left here. I want to just talk a little bit about the food that we're having for our first break here. We've got some wonderful granola from Bliss Gourmet Foods. They sell throughout the state and also at the North City Farmers Market. We've also got portable yogurt from Cedar Summit Dairy, and this is the only 100% grass-fed dairy in the state of Minnesota. So we've got raspberry, plain, as well as vanilla yogurt. And then I've also got a sampling of apples. This is from Gilby's Orchard in Aiken, Minnesota. We've got the good old classic Harrelson. And this is the one that the orchardist told me, you want to start off with that, that's going to have the most tart. And then you want to go to the Honey Crisps. And then we're going to go to the Sweet Tango. And I hope that this Sweet Tango will spur some conversation, because it is, as apples go, a fairly controversial apple. And so that would be quite fun. And then over lunch, we've got some other wonderful local foods. And some kabocha squash. It's going to be done with the maple syrup that just won Best in the World. Minnesota is pretty minuscule when it comes to maple syrup production, but the International Maple Syrup Expo in New Brunswick just completed about a week ago, and this little outfit out of northern Minnesota won Best. And these are places like Quebec that are making millions of gallons. So that's gonna be really delicious. And then we've also got wild rice that has spent time in the bottom of my canoe. This is yum, right? This is a classic wood parched. It's roasted over a birchwood fire. This is genetically wild rice soup with pasture-raised chicken, organic carrots, all sorts of wonderful goodies in there. And then, anyway, lots of good food. So I hope that good food stimulates good conversation. And please corner me with any questions you have. And also, when it comes to the farmer's market, what makes a farmer's market? Keep that in your head, write down your ideas, because we really do want to kind of get some ideas from everyone. So thank you, and let's have a bite to eat.